Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing a short video on the cleaning process for this Tokyo Marui HK45. I just want to say first of all what a fantastic gun this is. It just feels great to hold. The way that the handguard is molded to your hand, it feels really good. I mean, I've used a lot of pistols, but this one is it's one of my favourites. It's actually a friend of mine's pistol, and he's let me use it on a few occasions. Now I can honestly say I do really like this pistol. It speaks for itself. It's Tokyo Marui. You don't need to upgrade a lot of parts in it. The only thing that's been upgraded in this is the bucking, and it's just got a 50-degree auto bot. I mean, really, that's all I would recommend changing, unless you want to go really deep into it and start changing the, the trigger and all that. It is a long trigger pull on it, but for what you pay for it and what you get, it's an absolutely fantastic gun. So we're just going to go ahead, take the top slide off, give it a nice good clean, give the barrel a clean, and do a bit of cleaning on the lower half. I'm not going to be stripping the lower half. This is just going to be stripping the upper half. So first of all is you want to cock it all the way back, let it come forward to that point there, and then we can just lift that out nice and gently. Just pull it forward. So you can see the lower half is relatively dirty. It is going to get dirty. So we just need to do a little bit of cleaning on this, but like I say, I'm not going to be stripping the lower half. We'll just give it a nice good clean all the way around and re-lubricate where we need to re-lubricate. So I'm just going to put that to one side for now. Today's video, we're going to be stripping this section and giving this a nice good clean. As you can see on this one, it's relatively dirty. You're out in the field, they are going to get dirty. You enjoy using your weapons, so let's keep them clean, and they're going to last a lot longer for us. So pull this forward like this, pull it up like that, and let that come back and lift. So we're lifting that section out. Put that to one side. Now you're going to push your hop unit, your inner barrel and your outer barrel forward, so it comes out the front of the gun. And then we're going to lift the whole section together and just remove that like that, gently. I'm going to put that to one side for now. Now we're going to remove the rear section, which is just one screw here. So if we undo that, like so, remove that. Then we're just going to gently pry this apart a little bit and just lift the back end up. In the front here, there's a spring and a little guide. Just make sure they don't fly off. I'll show you those when they pop out. So just get a flat blade screwdriver or something and just lift up nice and gently like that. Once you've got it lifted up, pull your front end and your back end up like so, and it's out. So that little spring is just here, so you can see that it's got a little pin as well. So we're just going to remove that so we don't lose it. I'm going to put it to one side. Now we can remove the piston cylinder, which is this, your nozzle. We're going to give that a nice good clean. And then we're just going to remove the rubber here, so we can give that a nice good clean as well. That just pops off and it sits on that pin there. Okay, once we've got all those parts disassembled, we're going to need a couple of brushes, some alcohol cleaner, a couple of wipes, cloth for drying, and maybe a couple of swabs as well. I'm just going to show you how dirty this can get with a white swab. That's just one little wipe, look. So it is important to keep these nice and clean. Okay, we're going to break this part down as well and give that a nice thorough clean as well. The way we do that is pull this collar up. So this collar here, just pull that up, and the two rubbers that are behind it, and that just lifts off like that. And it's like an interlocking system. So when you want to put it back together, you interlock it, you let it go. So pull it up, remove it, gently release all of this, and it's all just going to come off like so. So now we can start cleaning everything. Got some alcohol in here, a couple of brushes, some smaller brushes, and we're just going to go ahead and clean all of our parts. Once you've cleaned it, give it a nice good wipe. I'm just going to set that part to one side so it can dry off. The reason we use the alcohol is because it will dry off really quickly. So you can use other stuff. You can use washing up liquid and warm water, which I have done in the past. You can do that, but it doesn't evaporate as good as alcohol does. Okay, so what you're going to do now is going to go ahead, clean all your other parts, and then I'll come back to the reassembly of the video. Before I do that, I should have mentioned we need to strip out this section as well to give the barrel and the bucket and everything a good clean, which I'll show you how to do once I've cleaned all of these parts. Okay, so all these parts are now nice and clean, free from any dust, dirt, grease, anything. So the next step we want to go to do is get some silicone gun grease, and we need to put a bit on your rubber piston head. I guess you can call it a piston head, like so, and then just put that back, goes inside there like that, and then you're just going to want to use something to push down and push it back on like that. So that's all back as one. And we want a little bit of lubricant inside here. Not too much, just a little bit. So we could just put a bit on the inside of there, like so. And when we push that in, it will just move it all the way down the bottom. Like I say, we don't want loads in there because we don't want it spilling everywhere. Now we're going to reassemble that. I'm going to put that back on there, like that. And then we've got our small spring, which is here, and that can go back in there, like so. And we're going to put that to one side, and now we're going to bring in the outer barrel, inner barrel and hop unit assembly, so we can do a bit of work on this cleaning. Okay, you're going to need a small posi screwdriver for this. And what we're going to do is remove this small screw here. And when we've removed that screw, it's going to release this silver plate on this side, which will allow us to slide this completely out. So that small screw is out. And now we're able to slide this out the back, like so. And this small metal clip will come out as well, which will go back in that way when we come to doing that. So put that to one side, put that to one side, and we're going to take out this small screw and this small screw here, and that's going to release the barrel from the hop unit. There is two small different screws here. I'm also going to show you where they go. So this, the longer one, which has got a domed head, goes to the top, so it will go to the top here. And this smaller, which has got a tapered head, is the one that goes at the bottom here. So once you've took them apart, we're just going to gently open the hop unit by pulling it apart like so. So we've got that piece, we've got the hop arm, and there's a H plate in this as well. That's one side. Now you can see how dirty the outside of this bucking is. The inside's pretty dirty as well, so it's well overdue a good clean. We don't need to remove any of these little cogs. These, they can all just stay in, we don't need to touch them. So we're just going to pull that bucking off, like that. Put that to one side. And the barrel also needs a nice good clean in there. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So bring the alcohol back over, get one half of your hop unit, and we're going to start cleaning that. Just like that. Once you've cleaned one half, dry it. Set it to one side. Pick up your next one with the cogs in. Give that a good clean. Turn it over. Clean the outside. Front, back. Make sure there's no dirt, anything in there. Give that a nice good wipe. And we can set that to one side. Now this bucking that we're using in this, it's got a little ring. So if you go ahead and just remove that ring, because we don't want to squash it or damage it, put that to one side, and we're going to drop this bucking inside our alcohol, and we're going to give it a nice good clean. You just rotate it side to side when you're doing this, it's going to clean the inside as well. You can already see the outside, it's getting a lot cleaner than what it was, and the inside will be doing the same. Get a little wiggle around, and here, get in the grooves where the ring was. the cleaner this is, the better your gun is going to perform. So it's worth just spending a bit more time doing this part and having a better performance gun. Okay, I'm happy with that. It's nice and clean, that is. I'm going to give that a dry off. Set that to one side. We don't need to clean the ring on that. Put that to one side. The H plate, which is this, I believe it's a maple leaf. We're going to put that to one side as well. The arm doesn't get dirty. If there is a bit of dirt, just rub that off, but there's nothing on this, it's quite clean. So we're just going to set that to one side as well. You've got your 2 screws, they can all go there. And then we're on the barrel. So now we're going to give the barrel a nice good clean, inside and outside. As you can see, this is quite dirty. So I've decided this barrel, it needs a bit of TLC. The inside is really dull and dark. So as a thank you to my friend for letting me use it in a video, I'm going to give it a nice good polish and shine inside and out with the lapping paste. I've done this in a previous tutorial, so if you want to know how to do it, just click back and you'll see how to do it, and I will come back to you with the results after. Okay, so we've got the inside like a mirror. Now we're going to do the outside of the barrel. So, just finished cleaning inside and out, and this is what we're left with. Spotless, perfect, polished, ready to go. So now we can start the reassembling process. To do that, dead simple, it's everything in reverse. So grab your bucking, put your ring on, if you've got one of these buckings, that is. Put it onto your barrel, make sure it's sitting correct. There's a groove in which it should be sitting in. Just have a look down it, make sure it's sitting where it should be sitting and it's all nice seated. Lovely. Then we're going to bring our hop unit back in, our arm and our H plate. So we're going to sit our barrel in there, like so. like that. And then we're going to put the H arm, or the H plate should I say, on top like that. And stick your arm over the top of that. Like that. Then just centralise this plate into the hop arm. Like so. And then we can put the next section over the top of that. Like that. Just give it a look down your barrel. Just push down on it. Make sure it's seated correctly. And then put your screws back in. So remember, for this one we had the domed head which went at the top, and the bevel head which goes at the bottom there. Like so. Then we need to bring this piece back, and we need this piece back. So we're going to put that in first, and that sits in just like that, as so. And then we're going to feed a bit tricky to get that back in. That's it. This is a bit fiddly, but you want it to match up, so that concave bit there is matching together. Once we've done that, we can put this screw back in here. So it's this small screw, and it just goes back in there. Knit that up, not too much, and that's all back together. After we've done that, we're going to grab our top slide and we're going to give this a bit of a clean as well. So we're just going to wipe all the inside of here and all round and everywhere else, make sure we can get all that debris and dirt out. Give it a good clean and give it a good wipe. Once you're happy with how clean your top slide is, we're going to put this back section in first. So remember, we've got this pin and spring. So if you just push down on the back first, gently ease the front in like so. And when we get to a point where it's going to squash the spring, you're just going to get a flat blade screwdriver, push that spring and pin in. Oh god. Don't lose it. Don't do that, that's what not to do. Okay, so get a flat screwdriver, just push that pin in and then snap it down into place, like so. And that's all back in place. Once we've done that, we can put this section back. So that just sits in just like that, and we slide it back into place. Then we need this part. This part sits in the front first, so just push that down, and then we're going to flick that over so it's that way. Push that spring in like that, and just let that sit on like that, as so. So we've got all this top section back in one piece. Don't forget that screw in the back there, sorry. Where's my screwdriver? There. Okay. Set that to one side. Now we're just going to give this a nice clean where we can get to without disassembling. So we can get to the outsides like that. Same with this side. Give them a wipe off. See how dirty it is. Same on this side. Give it a nice wipe once you've cleaned it. And if you look on the top, we can get a bit of cleaner inside here. This bit, this bit, this bit. So I'm just going to get a flat screwdriver and just get as much of that rubbish out as I can. And with my brush, give it a good brush like so. To get into the more tricky places, you can use earbuds, just like this. Dip them in to your alcohol solution and just wipe around where you can get to with one of these. You can see how dirty that is. Just keep going with that until you come out and you're clean. Okay, once you're happy with how clean it is, everything's right, you're good with it, we're going to put a bit of silicone grease and spray to re-lubricate everything where we've got rid of the lubrication. So you want to get some in the hammer assembly, not loads, but want it to be free moving in there. And then we need a bit on the slides here, and a bit on the back here. Basically anywhere where there's a moving part. And then I like to put some along the slide here as well, where it's going to slide. But I like to do this with proper silicone grease rather than the spray, because it's going to last a bit longer. So wherever the parts are going to move on the slide, That's where we want to put a bit. So bring the slide in, just put a bit on the sliding parts. We don't need loads, but enough to make it so it's freely moving. And go ahead, we can slide that back on, wipe any off the excess from the back. Go ahead and put a pin back in, like that. And it's going to feel a lot better. And it'll make you feel better that it's nice and clean. So thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope it's helpful. And I'll see you on the next one. Thanks again.